Okay, well that should have solved that side of things. Am I just muted in general, or is that just You can go check if that is the case. That is true. Somebody else can comment on whether this is or not. Well, the game hasn't actually started yet. Okay, it does appear as if both audio channels are actually working, at least on OBS, so I'm going to assume it's all fine, and we're going to carry on until somebody tells me it's not the case. Solar is currently disconnected, so we're going to quickly pause this one until we see him come back. So, this gives us some time to analyze the hand here. So we got 2 Dora, pair at North, which isn't the best being sitting in the East Wind, but it's not the worst. Well, let's restore and see how this goes. We'll keep the dragon because there's a chance we can duplicate that. Solar, no! Indeed. Not going to call that. We've got 2 safe tiles for the end of the game, so that's how we're going to use that. Some interesting shapes here. Loose 9, white, and then we'll see. We can get lucky and fill in some gaps. Two Dora as dealer is more than enough. 3 Dora, although that one's an isolated Dora. And we're giving Legius some ability to attack us. Oh, no sense in holding the last 9 pin. Four pin's an okay draw here. I guess technically this doesn't help as much, keeping the 1/9 here, but... Darn it, I was hoping to convince him. Oh well. Right. Let's... Because drawing a 2 doesn't help us out a great deal. We still have a pair to get rid of, so... Let's lean on that side. Probably going to either go... We'd like to draw 4 or 6 to just help that along, but really, we need to draw a pair of 2s. 9 doesn't help me. Well, first row of Nageshi completed. Drawing a second one of these means we can cut the Norths and attack that way. 8 is not especially helpful. We cut 2 9s, otherwise that would be okay. In fact, we have 4 concurrent viewers, so he is definitely not alone. How many of those are currently in the game we're currently playing is a good question, but hey. Yep, so that's a great draw. The question is now, do I start cutting 6s? And we need to keep the North as their Dora right now, so we're going to cut the 8-6. Fortunately, I've given Jesper a bit of an attack plan there. 6 is safe, though. Not going to call it. That was a tip. Okay, so that's fine. The problem we got here is that we're leading ourselves into a position where we're going to have to... Well, we didn't even get the option of that. Rinchan, but thankfully it's a cheap hand. Rinchan Simple's 1. Or at least cheaper than it could have been, given that was a Khan. Also, Khan not revealed, which is an interesting point. I didn't quite register with that. So no additional Khan Dora. And we have a Khan potential here as well. Well, unfortunate dealer turn, but hey. Alright, we'll go west and see what we can do here. No reason to call this set of 7s, but it's very useful info. 2 is not the best for us here. We'll go cut the 9, 2, 5 closer to each other. Seems to be a slight delay on my end, at least with the way the client's working. I don't know whether that's coming across, but it seems to be almost like I'm losing frames here. Oh, okay. We're not doing anything useful. We're probably gonna have this card until the very end, and then we'll see. Pairing at the east helps this hand a great deal. The 4's a good draw. All right, let's cut the free man. I mean, it's not impossible that this develops into something else with this. If we draw triplet of 6s, triplet of 7s, with the spare 7. That gives us some flexibility there. Problem is, the rest of the hand's not really connected to anything. We need to draw a 7. We need to draw something that allows us to get rid of this east. In fact, we're probably going to have to cut the east at the end of this row anyway, regardless here, but... yeah, let's cut the east. But the power of always can't is a thing. Alright, that's an okay draw. So, some development, but it means we're probably going to have to cut the Dora as the next part of advancement. Or that's actually better. We can cut the 9-8. So, draw a 6, cut there. Next advancement we can Khan with. And also, we're on for Tanyo at the moment. So we could potentially call the 6s if they come up here. Call 6, cut 8. Next advancement, Khan for the win. So Tanyo, draw a 1. It's an advancement, but it's not. All right, we're gonna take Tanyo, draw a 1. It's a little awkward because it's the 4 only side of it, but. Well, now I could just go into the 4 only weight from this, but... okay, that's acceptable. That is very acceptable. I put myself into a weird position with this, but... oh, good God. Alright, fine. Should probably cut the 6s here on the basis of things, but I could always call the 4 and be into the 4-7 weight. The impossible 4-7 weight, of course. There's a lot of Doras going on here. Yeah, we're going to get no help from anybody here. Does somebody want to take a gamble? That's ultimately what I'm relying on. Somebody gambling on a middle tile. Or we just draw it. That's ridiculous. No. Dealt in, but we had Tanyo Dora 4. So I will take that. 2,000 point dealing is not the worst for us in this position. Perhaps should have discarded in a different order, but I think that ultimately could have avoided Khanning a little bit, but it didn't do anything to harm us particularly. Still, 9-8. 2 more turns until we're dealer again. And Solo putting down a early dragon to try and become dealer. We see 1 red, so we'll throw that for the moment. Yeah, so talking in the chat, I'm not going to mention to him how valuable my hand was, because ultimately he killed it with the correct kind of thing, just going for the quick hand to kill the big hand. And to be fair, that sort of thing happens in Mahjong. You don't get the big hand just because you're Tenpai for it. Interesting. Well, wait. Ishanten here for Tanyo Dora. If we draw Dora, we got Pinfu as well. We draw 7. I'm trying to work out the Sanshikyu line here. But we don't really have Sanshikyu with the current setup. Riichi on Medora? Maybe. Gonna hold off a turn. This is so much better if we have a way of somehow incorporating Sanchikyu into this. We're going to reach on the next turn regardless of what we draw. Certainly are now. No, he's gone for it. See, if I'd have reached early, maybe he wouldn't have done that. Maybe he would anyway, who knows. But Reach Dora. Well, Reach Dora 2 is all we got with this hand if it comes to it. But against a player with a restrictive thing here, we got to assume Honitsu from what he's discarded. Could be Chanter. Could be a monster hand in all truth, but you got to have a triplet of the 8s. But we know where 3 6s are. Problem is the table doesn't know where 3 6s are. This is a very unlike... Oh, there we go. Sumo. Reach Sumo Doradora. A little fortunate. But that is a manga, and that puts me into the lead, actually, with how close the game kind of was. Undoes my first 2 hands to some extent, and it puts me a turn closer to being dealer. So, end of East round, in the lead, for now. We lost our massive hand, but we still finished off a Mungans quite good. Hey, killed my big hand. See, Solo complaining. I have a complaint. I didn't do it, though. I was the bigger person. Alright, so 2-3-4 Sanchikyu is the high end for this hand. Reach Pinfu as well, possibly. But, let's throw dragons here. I was doubting it as well. Oh, yeah, the Tozu were so cheap elsewhere on the board, so who knows? But this is quick turn deal. Also, hi, Carol. Alright, just with the attack. He might want the white dragon. We'll give it to him when it's our next go around. South is actually our wind, but one of them played, so it's less likely to be something we work with. And I'm still liking the 2-3-4 Sanchikyu more. Certainly I'm liking it a lot more now. So Forso for Reach Pinfu Sanchikyu. Yeah, no worries. Oh, we've been overcalled. 2 9s. These cards don't look as if he's going for a Chanter or a Junchan, and you're up against another Reach here. Once South played, we'll see. In theory, they're both fine, but I'm not going to risk that on turn 1. Well, just to fix up the win, it was a Chanter. Well, Junchan. Open Junchan for 2,000. We are more than happy with that. Could have been worse. And we have our dealer turn going into South. West to start. So no easy card, no easy route to Mungan here, but a potential route in. I think we're just looking to reach Pinfu and hoping to get lucky with some things. You're closed weight in either of these. That helps us out a great deal. Let's go 5-man now. Let's force the early decision. Don't really want to be pushing too... Well, I suppose we do. We just don't want to be advancing other people's hands quickly if we can avoid it, but safest point to get rid of the 5. Okay, so triplets, 4, 6, 7. All right, let's get the 1-3 now. I'm wondering if I should have considered Chitoitsu a little earlier. I mean, there's other considerations with this hand, depending on how this goes, but... See, I could call this and start being really aggressive towards the Chinitsu. But that puts us 3 away to start with. Dealer push this early. I think we're just going to go with the more complete hand with what we got. But that was the aggressive line we'd given up there. Still have a 6, 7, 8 Sanchiku as our best thing we're doing with this hand. This does not feel great. Pair of 1s, 1, 2, 3, and a pair of dragons against the Riichi. Right, well, that's our time up. 2 safe tiles we can just toss immediately. See where things go from that. Hope somebody deals it. Okay, that's fine. The leader continues to grab more points. My battle for second is a bit easier. And my route to just securing a second is just knock a 2-hand hand off of Legius here. Okay, that is a nice starting hand. If we can pair up that dragon very quickly, this is a Honitsu attack. And even ignoring that, we're probably just going to cut... Okay, cut the 6. Well, he says that. It wouldn't take an awful lot to get... I could get a Chinitsu Hanuman here, and that if he deals into it, that's game switched. But that's the route for the ultimate victory pathing, not necessarily the correct pathing. But still something I want to be considering with this hand. Alright, let's buy a turn here. If we can draw high Sozu, then we're on for the Chinitsu plan. I mean, to be fair, we draw any Sozu, we're practically on for it. Any Sozu improves the Chinitsu plan right now. The only thing that would stop us doing it at this point is if we drew 7-man, just because I don't really want to be giving Dora away. So we'd probably be moving on towards a Pinfu Repeiko hand. And all importantly, do not give Jesper any points, do not give Sailor any points. That's very nice of him just to point out that my chance of the game has gone. Oh well. I'm going to cut the 8-man here. It's because we technically have a backdoor into pairs or Chitoitsu. Toitoi. Toitoi or Chitoitsu. Both of them are technically valid. But I don't know if that's necessarily what we want to go for here. But technically we have triplet and 3 pairs. Fortunately, not one we can do anything with because we already played that. Jesper Ishanten for something. Or just annoyed he drew 2 8s. Oh, we dropped a pair as well, although admittingly, as I say, that was kind of leading us into Toy Toy or other things. Nobody's playing Sozu, so that means, you know, everybody else wants them. So 6-0 is the only Sozu child to have been played this game at this point. So yeah, clearly everybody's on this sort of hand. Well, there's the Riichi. We can save tile for the first discard and see where we go. But Sola's the one person we don't particularly want picking up points. Unless it's exactly 3,000 from Legius. Well, can't play Sozu on this board, so we'll go for our 2 9s. Could still backdoor into... Yeah, we're going to go for this because there's no disadvantage here. We only have 1 tile we can play, really. I guess, is the problem. Yeah, probably this is kind of a blunder, 3-pin. It paid off, but it was still a blunder against his hand. Right, so we call 2-3, cut 2, have 10 pie on the 7. Except we can't do anything with that. Now I've called, can I? Because I've been an idiot here. I don't have Tanya. West is live, it's his wind. Alright, there's my 9. Oh, what am I doing? I have misplayed this. Two Hatsu is fine. 8's also fine. So technically we have a backdoor route into Tenpai now if we can get a call. Well, no, 8 and 9 are both safe. No more discards. Well, thankfully, nobody's going to realise quite how much I blundered that, except the people watching. And, you know, they're not going to reveal anything. Yeah. I technically was a bit close to the Senpai, but if I couldn't play the 9, then there was no real point in me attacking. Well, one hand close to victory. Legius is on 1,200 points. With a reach stick in the middle, I think that's game. If a reach stick and 1, yeah, this is game over if anybody wins pretty much anything off him. And we have an attacking hand here. Can hold off on south for one more go around just because it's a tile of doom. But we might draw a second one, which makes it an awesome tile to have. Okay, tile of doom goes away. We can still hope to draw these. We have 3s for our pair, so we'll get rid of the 6-8 instantly because of the better weights on this side. Hopefully. Well, getting there. Suppose now we've got the option of making the reds just our pair at this point. Cut both frees, keep on the lack of information plan, hopefully waiting on Pinzu. Yeah, would have loved to call that, but I don't like relying on making sure we get the red. So that would be call, cut 3, cut 2. Which I suppose we could have done. Alright, 9 not helpful. technically puts us closer, but it doesn't do a lot here, so we're going to say no Sanso for the moment. We'll say Tiles are Legius, though. Four, 7, 5, 8. Yeah, 4's not the worst draw we can make here. We can still potentially pair up, use 5 as a pair, but wrong 8. Somebody had dragons. Well, I guess it's another routine. I prefer a little more. There was a long pause in the freezer, so we're not going to get that. I guess that doesn't change a lot. But 6-pin being a definite safe tile that we potentially get rid of here. Puts us into a double pair weight. Versus the 5-8 at this point. Well, we'll see. Just for not helping us out there by calling the 7s. Except for knowing that, you know, there aren't many of them left. Oh, he's got to be Tenpai. He's got to be Tenpai. We've got to go with that. 7-pin was a possibility here in the better weight, but they've got to be Tenpai, one or either of them. So we're going to go with this and Friso 7-pin. One each remaining. One safe. All the ones are gone. But that's the only information on that side. A2, A4. Well, Jesper has put Legius out of the danger zone, relatively. And technically I'm closer to victory now, so there's that. Oh dear, but I can't say I'm playing well right now. Alright, Jesper on quick attack here, so Jesper just 2 wins to win. But he does have enough of a gap. 16 at the moment. Drawing a triplet of 4s is interesting. Potential carnage available here. If we can draw an early 8, we can risk the south here. Four's a good draw. So let's add Tanya to the mix because might as well. So Ishan send for Tanyo 2 5-pin. Huh. Let's think about this a moment. What do we... Well, I mean, we got 2 Khans now, I suppose, and still Tanyo. So we got that level of fun, potentially. But we can always cut off the 7 here and just do it that way, I suppose. Also, now I have 3, 4, 5 Sanchikyu as a potential thing. Yeah, in fact, now draw 5, reach on the 6. Or draw 5, reach on the 6 anyway. So yeah, we got some good weights here. And means we're probably not going to take an open card if we get a chance to here. But 5-man or 5-pin right now would be awesome. Bye-bye, Dora. We're going to cross for 6 anyway, regardless of what we do. So we're going to keep the option open here of drawing Salanko. So drawing a 3, reaching on the 4, Sananko potentially. Tanyo, Sananko. Not the best hand in the world, but certainly not one we're going to complain at. And if we draw the Sanshikyu line, then that's fine as well. We drew the Sanshikyu line, so that's the way we're going. Reach Sanshikyu and the ability to Khan the 7-pin. No Ipatsu. You can play a 5-pin. Go on. Oh, 7-man. I mean, that's not the tile of death. Not against me anyway. There are not a lot of pins coming out after my reach, which is quite nice, I suppose. Although 3 and 4 now definitely indicate 258 Vane is dodgy with 1-8 played. Problem is Jesper is still on for his Honitsu. Well, it didn't happen, obviously, but other people are attacking as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind putting Legis out of this game. Just saying. Also, what's with all the emotions going on? Novadora. Saw a couple of those from Solo Go, so they should be okay, but, you know. It's also the 4th. Still, when you know your opponents are attacking, that's the last thing you want to be drawing. Yeah, so Legis is just playing safe to me, which is absolutely fair and proper. Come on, 2 more draws. We can do this. 2 5-pin. More attacks. 2-pin. I don't get the... I don't think that eliminates because it's not a Sanshikyu. Nope. 26. Fortifies my position a bit, but I was hoping for either elimination or, you know, just sumoing. Sumo would be fine. Okay, 3 pairs. Possible outside hand here. Let's go 1-man. Start with and see where this goes. Not interested in calling East at this point. Nope, definitely not interested in that. Last hand, stay in second place plan or somehow get direct hits off of Jesper here. And yeah, Solar can also come back. Well, Solar's got the easier time because he can just win with anything a couple of times and they'll get there. This is not looking like a hand that's going to overhaul, so we're just going to look to try and rapidly secure second and 2 safe easts to get us there. We hope. 9 doesn't do a lot, but neither does 1. Came to the conclusion that dragons hate you. Dragons hate everybody. So it's still some distance to cover. Oh, why did we discard the 2-pin? We can't even try and Nageshi this. Not that you can actually Nageshi anything, despite proof to the contrary. Well, I'd have thought if they were really dragons, they'd still hate us. But, you know. Okay, double run. So, some development. So, draw something connected to the 7-pin, ideally. Cut the white in... Okay, Ipeko. We also have multiple pairs as an option here. White Dragon's not valid for that, so we're going to keep going. And see if we can backdoor into 7 pairs here on an unlikely wait. Because Riichi 7 pairs gives us the chance at Hanneman. So, 1 green played. No 6s, that or 9. Jesper's door free. I guess it doesn't matter. He's miles in the lead anyway, but you know. And I guess it's better him having it than Solo, because that makes Solo's job a bit harder. But now I've got to worry about that with my final discard. Although 9 should be fine, I think. We see all the 8s, so... Somebody have a pair of Hatsu. I mean, that wasn't that long ago, so it's unlikely, but... Hello there. South 4 crunch time. Oh, this is not a good set of tiles to have right now, but we can play the green. 2 of them gone, so it wouldn't be useful for that. Well, we take 2nd place. Mangan. Well, that was our best attempt to get back at it in any case. Yeah, maybe we could have committed 7 pairs a little earlier, but we still had a more valid pin 2 attempt, I suppose, and we were still quite away from that. Legia still survives without being busted out. And I earned some gold points. Okay. Didn't deal in, I guess. Indeed. So what did that give me? That gave me a pitiful 3 points. Hooray! We like our pitiful 3 points. Alright, so currently we have Prospero, Legius, and Jesper queued up. And I'm going to go and do an observation round unless nobody jumps in the next few moments, in which case I will have to. Solar is here, so I'm going to do an observation round. Start that off. Plus 56, indeed. Again, I haven't updated things, although I happen to know that Demo is currently on top of the leaderboard. With his last couple of results, I've basically lost quite a lot of points in the last couple of rounds as well. In 4-pin, we trust, especially because 1 pin will victory return. Indeed. Indeed. Right, if we do have enough players for a second game, at some point we will... Demos above me. That's an assumption. I haven't actually done the math on the last couple of sessions, but I've got a feeling on that because he's had quite a lot of big wins in the last couple of weeks. And Kyra lost quite a few points. I lost quite a few points, so... So yeah, I might not even be top 4 at the moment. I might not even be top 5, come to that. But hey, this is the sort of league with the way the points are set up that wins matter. So ultimately, you can gain a couple of positions back just by winning a couple of games. Second place gives you almost nothing. Third place makes you lose some points, and fourth place makes you lose a lot of points. Oh dear. Right, let's go and see how long this is going to take then. Hang on, I consider some things. Right, that is 213 seconds, so I am going to go quickly off and grab something, so I will be back momentarily. Bear with. Which I said while muted, so all to the good. Oh yeah, 107 seconds until we have some match to observe. Currently, we only have myself in terms of the queues. We're on a bit of a low turn. Oh, actually, we have Lacane currently queued up as well. So yeah, we technically have 2. But if I see 2 more in there, we can jump in and start a sub-game, which I can promptly lose. So... 84 seconds. How's Ruby done? There or thereabouts. Usually Ruby's fairly unlucky in most of the previous things he's done. They're a bit more regular here. Picked up a win last week, I think, which put him somewhere. Again, I haven't updated this table in quite a while. Let's actually go and look at it before we do anything further while I've got some time. But this is not taking into account, I think, the last couple of streams. Can't remember when the last time I updated it was. I will update it before tonight, but... Oh, come on, drive. You're so slow. Can't have a chat video about the music. Indeed we can't, Anyan. Also, what are you doing here in Confusion Town? Also, hello and how are you doing? But more the first question. Yeah, so this is how it looked. Well, this is how the top end looked a couple of weeks ago, I think. So, taking that into account, I've lost about 100 points based on what I know I have from the last couple of things, 4, 4, 3, 2, and 2. Kyrol's lost about 70 points. Demo's picked up a couple of big wins, and I don't remember him having a bad result on that. So, yeah. So I think Demo's ahead. He might not be, but we'll see. Well, 70. Did you lose more points here? You lost to 25-2. You lost to 14-5. I thought you lost one other one somewhere, but I might be wrong. You had 2 thirds, actually. Yeah, also, to answer your question, Rumi went minus and plus, so Rumi actually didn't move from the last couple of results. But these are the ones I need to add on. I know I personally lost 80 points, 90 points from those few games. Problem is, I don't know exactly when I did this, but you know. Maybe not, because that was your big win there. So okay, maybe you didn't lose as many as I thought you had. Oh well. Your Yakuman is definitely on there, because I remember commenting on that specifically. Anyway, let's have a look at this then. So we have Prospero with a very fast starting hand as dealer. This is pretty awesome. Multi-sided weights depending on how this goes here. Irregular weights as well, which I always like. I mean, arguably the points don't really matter. They matter for this thing and the Sticker of Doom, which I was in the process of rewriting at some point. Well, reach T5. All the 5s are in Solar's hand, all the 2s are in Legius's hand. That's just unfortunate. But there's still 2 in the wall he could win with, and an early reach from the dealer is at least going to dismantle their hands a bit. Yep, there you go. Legius immediately dismantling. Which is fair. I will hopefully be doing some more actual live stuff at some point soon, but I can't tell you exactly when. We shall see how things go. We're going to get started actually doing some actual recording of, videos at some point soon, but that's madness talking. Let's not go there. Solar has gotten to a point where he wants to consider going into this, although 4-man Dragon. Well, I mean, Dragon wasn't, I guess, the worst. The only thing that would be the problem is if Prospero was on a pair weight for Dragon something. So figured that was fine. Knows both dragons are safe now. And just Ishanten for a hand with Tudora. Slightly Shanten, but possible Ipeiko, which... Actually, no, he wouldn't take that because he still needs to pair somewhere. Has risked the 7. 3 8s. I'm trying to work out from that things. Not if I can avoid it. No. Well, that leaves Prospero with 1 draw left in the wall that he can win with, other than relying on random discards. Do-do-do. Nice. I've had 1 shot myself, and my arm is killing me. But other than that, I'm fine. I mean, even when I vaguely watched Eurovision, I was always watching the voting more than the actual songs, because that's the only way sanity reigns. I remember we actually did it because my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, was introduced to Eurovision, and we didn't tell her anything about it beforehand. That was probably the most fun I've ever had watching an event. But yeah, I don't typically watch it. Anyway, draw happened, and yeah, Prospero with advantage. Woot! Although this is a terrible time to be trying to buy PC parts. I mean, at this point, we just all hope that the Ryzen 5000 APUs are actually decent, because, dear God, Spending money on both that processor and a graphics card these days. Anyway, what is going on with this hand? Prospero is fairly decent. Dora Dragon that he's decided to hold. Dora Dragon that Legis is also going to hold, and so is Solar. So this gives advantage to Jesper as the only person not bothering with that, and Jesper is a fast hand in regardless of anything at this stage. No easy Yaku to go into, but absolutely you would take that. Fast hand Dora 1. Prospero with an option now to switch into Chitoitsu. And probably is doing that with that 5 discard. So Chichoitsu waiting on the White Dragon would be pretty valuable. Question is now, can he pair up the remaining tiles? Sailor with 2 Dora, but unfortunately the hand's still got a little bit of a way to go. And Jesper marches a little bit closer with that one. Okay, so they're attacking. So North Dora 2 currently. And 10 pi for Jesper if he wants to go onto a 5-6 weight. Mine's been the case for about 3 days. It's been getting gradually better, so I'm not worried about it. But you know, it was really painful for a while though. Okay, so this should now be the flurry of White Dragons now that Solar's played one. Okay, maybe not. So 1, 2, 3 Sanshikyu, I guess Prospero's looking at here. So Jesper in a Yakuless Tempai, it looks like. Possibly. I mean, you put some pressure on people, I suppose, and now Jesper... Well, unfortunately, Jesper had no pressure with that White Dragon, because obviously it just comes out, but... Being number 4, Legis could call this and start going for a Tanyo attack. Which I guess was the debate. Decided not to. Oof. Well, Sumo Red 5, which was Sumo only for Red 5 as well. That picks up the win, takes the lead. Short lead as we move into Legius's turn. So, opening hand, North and Dora. North obviously not a bonus tile, but sometimes useful to have an off pair. For safety, if nothing else. Other than that, looks reasonable. Just not great. I'm loving Solar's hand up top at the moment. Well, I'm liking it initially. I'm not sure. At the second glass, I'm not actually sure is that great, but Tanpin, Chitoitsu, plenty of options. The pair of reds help. Jesper then, looking at just a standard Tanyo Pinfu. Well, no, just a Pinfu hand, actually. Pair of West, pair of ones. And Prospero, a bit of work to do. And reach Nomi unless something else develops. I suppose 7 pin helps and gives me a bit of extra value there. But we shall see. Yeah, unfortunately, still just myself and Lacane currently queued up for a second game, so we are still going to be observing this. Definitely a Ryuisu. I mean, he's only 7 away from it, but, you know, he can call with it, so that helps. My Dora 4 Dragon? No. Is there going to be some carning shenanigans? Because currently you don't have any. Or is this a different hand? I hope it's a different hand, because otherwise that means that the delay isn't quite long enough. Unfortunately, there's no way to really adjust that with the way Soul works. 5 minutes is okay for Tenho, actually, because Tenho generally plays a bit quicker than Soul, but... Maybe I should cut the times down to 10 and 5 to make sure it's definitely there's definitely no overlap. But I'm assuming there has to be a Khan, otherwise there's no way he's getting Dora 4 out of that. And currently Sola's the only person who looks in condition to actually do one, so... Yeah, all the 5s and 8s from Sola's current Tenpai are not... Oh, there we go. So at least we weren't talking about that hand. We were talking about a different hand. Okay, so maybe we're not that far, but we're okay with the moment. There's at least a hand difference. If this was, as I say, if this was Vidora 4 Dragon Hand, I'd have to seriously consider doing something with the timers, because there is... It does occasionally crop up, but we'll see. Oh, so Sola has double dragon, Dora Dragon in his hand. Legius has the single. But we're going to follow Jesper, who seems to have a quick hand himself here. This is actually a ridiculously good starting hand. Ishanten. Yeah, this is awesomely good. This is a Ryan hand if it absolutely comes to this. Possible Ryan, yeah. He's not made a fuss about it, so either he's really happy about it, or he didn't. Oh, this isn't the hand that kills it, but this is an awesome little hand. I mean, even aside from that, you draw 3/3, 8, 9. You're in. Yeah, this is awesome. Draws the 1 for Riichi, which is fair. Riichi Peiko. Actually, do you take? You're a dealer, so I'd like to put the pressure on people. Yeah. Still got the ability to calm the 4s. See what happens. But yeah, I agree with the early pressure here. Especially since you've also played non-typical discards, so... I mean, there's not really any chance of the 7-man coming out, because depressingly, Legius has a pair, Sola has 1, but... Oh, and Prospero decides to just attack into it anyway on a single 4-pin. 4 weights. That's unfortunate. I still agree with a Riichi then and there, because there's no way you'd know that 2 was coming. And, yeah. Just unfortunate with the way the tiles are distributed at the moment. I mean, this is the only condition a 7 would come out if Legius wanted to switch up the hand here, but... He's already cutting dragons, so he's folding, so there's no chance of that happening as far as I can work out. Sola is still attacking, but that 7's part of what he's doing, so... Well, there's the dealing. And he's definitely complaining... I don't think complaining he lost his Dora 4 Dragon hand is entirely valid when he didn't have the dragon. But hey. But hey, these things. Alright. So, Sola then. Currently in third place, 5-1 down. This is a tight game. So, Dilo Mungan here puts him in control. He's up against some quite good and fast hands, though. Oh, it's a great draw for Prospero, actually. Plays the Western. Yeah. That one's away. Legius looks good as well up top. At least quick with the White Dragon triplet. Hasn't got a pair, but could be in a 6-9 weight for it if it comes to it. Jesper's hand, okay-ish, I'd say, but the other's definitely stronger here. So Sola can get that Red Dragon early. This is dealer repeat territory. I shouldn't want anything to do with that. That's an okay draw, actually. So, dragon into a 2-5 pin weight. Or I can go for the dragon only here. So Jesper's call puts him closer to just Tanyo. That call, however, gives Solar Tempai. Decides to go with the pair weight over the 2-5. I mean, 2-5s are for out, but there's still 6 versus 4 here, I think. That being said, there's 3 still on the wall. 1-4 swap doesn't do particularly anything much for his hand at this stage. How's Legis doing? Legis is still kind of on this hand at the moment, from what we can see. And I guess against 2 calls, no reason to not be, as long as he's wary of that. But Jesper, you can reasonably assume, is on Tarnpin, or at least initially Tarnpin, so Tanyo at the moment, based on that. At best, Tanyo Dora free, based on the fact you can see one of Fedora. Solar's a little harder to read, but the only Tempai indicator really would be the 4-pin from a discard, which ultimately was the Tempai indicator, but that could easily be incidental. No. Alright, Dragon Repeat. And it's still a 30k game. Well, Prospero seems to have the pick of the hands at this point. Jesper, only 6 for the Kokushi attempt. And is definitely not channeling the spirit of Mono. Which again is probably correct, but you know. So multiple pairs and a triplet for Prospero here. Probably Dragon only, unless you can upgrade that to Toi Toi or Chitoitsu, but Solar's hand advances quite a bit with that draw. Do you play the 5 now, or do you wait? Plays the 5 now. So, just trying to work this out quickly. He's technically Ishanten, but it'll be a close weight, whichever way it goes with it. Draws the 4 so, cuts the 8 so, and then he's on the 5 pin weight, or draws the 5 pin, cuts the 8 so, and is on the 6 so weight. Sorry, the 4 so weight. And that, though, potentially improves things a bit. If you assume you're going to get 7-9, no, he decides to just secure his pair and be waiting on the 4 so. I think, technically speaking, the 5 would be better from there, waiting on the 9-6 to improve the hand, cutting the last 7, but it might not actually have been all that beneficial because you still got a gap you need to fill in somewhere. Drawing a 4 so still puts him Tempai at least, so he's still Ishanten. Jesper then with 2 Dora and a pair of reds, and is locked with Prospero, both of them looking at a pair of reds. Prospero has the slightly easier time of going for a Chitoitsu, though, so that would be the one way around it. Although, given he's drawn the 4 pin now, I doubt Chitoitsu is really on his mind, because he looks as if he can just get there, especially since he's got the irregular 5-6-6-6 grouping there as well. So yeah, I'd be looking more for sort of a conventional pin fu rather than a well, not necessarily pin fu, but a conventional hand rather than that. Although that is another pair. So I decides not to go with it, which is interesting because that's going to put him for a 10 if he ends up waiting on that side of it. So committing to discarding the 5, then he draws the 4. I mean, the game has recovered it immediately for him, but it looks as if he's going to be on a pair weight, whichever way around that goes. Jesper has drawn a triplet of those and is slowly building his hand up to the point where he is actually Tenpai for Sananko, or at least a potential Sananko. Legius, despite the early call, hasn't been able to really push himself towards Honitsu. Still got a pair of 1s in his hand. Further advancement, that's Tenpai for Prospero. So Red Dragon, Freeman, Riichi. And Jesper has drawn it, so does Jesper abandon here? He's got Dora Free Dragon in his hand. Does he fold? He does not. And that is the dealing. Riichi, Ipatsu, and nothing else. So at least it's a short hand, but that puts Prospero above the 30k threshold. So Prospero in control of the game for the moment, and is dealer for South 1. All according to my plan. Quite so. It's part of your plan, Prospero starting dealer with another good 2-Dora hand here. Potential 4-5-6 Sanchiku. Potential Dragon on top of that. Potential Tanyo Pinfu. Yeah, this is pretty good from Prospero's perspective. Can see no complaints. Legius has double South. And actually another really good fast hand. Jesper has already started calling for West Dora. So again, trying to get the highest point, basically trying to get the person with the most points off the dealer button as fast as possible. That is one part of his Sanchiku confirmed. Can Prospero get any more? Well, I guess it's not confirmed actually, because he could always do the 7s. And 5-6-7 Sanchiku is also possibly on here. Yeah, I'll play South here and just take the hit. Sadly enough. Does. Legius will call because double South. Double Yakuhai can't ignore, really. Possible Honitsu here as well, actually, depending. Although you have got rid of a couple of honor tiles for this. Jesper still needs a pair. But is he Shanten with the aggressive initial start? Reasonable draw from Prospero if he just wants to go for Tanya now. So has to leave it for the moment, which is probably fair against that, but... Okay. Honitsu for Legius then. Well, actually, no, he doesn't need the Honitsu. Actually, he can go double South on just that. Pair of 2s. So, Ishanten, Ishanten. Against 4 calls, I might have been tempted to call the 5s here, but again, he might not think the 6 is safe. Just feels like the momentum is not with you at this point. Everybody else is trying to win the game, and you're trying to passively get to the good hand at this point. You need a speed boost if you're going to go for it, or you've got to play safe. Eight's not the worst draw in the world. It's also a safe tile up to Jesper if he wants to just play safe here. So he's on the 6 now. And I think given that... I mean, he wouldn't have drawn the 8 if he'd have called, but still, that's kind of what I meant by the... It's a slight momentum shift, I guess. So at least then they've got to worry about what the heck the dealer's got, especially as you would be showing some red Dora with that as well. So at least a 2-Han dealer hand that they have to then worry about. Jesper onto a Dora only. Legius still not quite Tenpai, and Solar just slowly creeping his way up. but still, no, still hoping on that green dragon, I guess. Which might come now. Does Prospero stay in? He does. So Solar hits Tenpai if he calls. Waiting on the 5/8 so. Tenpai achieved. Prospero could have called for Tenpai himself there, going into 2/5. Guess the question is, do you think the 4 would pass? Which is the question Solar's asking himself now that he's made the card. Oh, that's really bad, and that's a deal in. Slightly unfortunate there, but I think being a little more aggressive as the dealer from Prospero, and he'd have got out of that with no problems. The question is, could he make the 4-pin pass in that last one? But he had opportunities earlier than that to make something happen. Anyway, let's have a look at what Legius is doing with a kind of terrible starting hand. Unfortunately. Exactly the wrong type of hand you... This is exactly what you don't want to see when you're dealer. A bad orphan's attempt. What's he up against here? So Prospero has double Dora. And a fairly decent hand other than 2 Dora. Jesper's hand is a bit outside heavy, but is developing. And Solar has some work to do, but isn't in the worst shape from there. And Prospero is still drawing useful tiles, so at least Prospero's still got that going for him. Legius draws the east, so you've now got Yakuhai to try and recover this hand with, but it's still quite a way away. Everybody else is going a lot faster, especially Prospero, who I don't think has drawn a not useful tile yet, from what I've just been casually observing admittingly. But Ishanten. Alright, technically the Tuso isn't a useful tile. There we go. The moment has passed. My curse is interesting. Oh dear, we'll see. A-pin also not useful for Prospero. It's because I've now started paying attention. I've kind of cursed Prospero retroactively by observing his hand 5 minutes ago. Yeah, something like that has happened. Solo with a useful draw there. So cut the 1 and go for... I suppose he's looking at Chitoy. Well, I thought he was looking at Chitoy with that, but I guess not. Legius also now has 2 Dora to play around with here. And it looks as if you're going to have to cut one of them. Or I suppose hope to draw another 7, which should give you at least a pair weight on that side of things. You still need the east, whichever way you go with this, but... Okay, 3-5-7. Cuts Fedora now. Jesper could have called that, but doesn't because Yaku considerations. And there's the 7-pin for Prospero, which isn't the worst, but decides not to take it. And Legius hits Tenpai. So this is Reach Dora only, because no Pinfu, pair of bonus tiles. Still probably worth it. It's a free 6 weight. All the frees are in Solar's hand, obviously except for 1. So most of the frees and 6s are in people's hands, but there's 1 of each still that can be drawn, and, it's dealer pressure ultimately. Can Solar make either the 9 or the 8 pass, given that really Manzu are not... It goes for it anyway. Not the cheapest of tiles. Prospero also hits Tenpai here, but I'd have to cut the 5 or 2 pin to do it. Goes for the closed 4, which is probably a safer bet overall, but decides on it anyway. So 4 pin. Again, 3 of them in people's hands, 1 of which he can draw. So we'll see if he can get lucky. So Jesper, defending against this lot then. Because, I mean, looking up top, it's not impossible that Solo hits Tenpai here. But you need the 8-man to be proven safe, ideally. But it's not impossible. Yeah, that's Tenpai, waiting on the 4-pin 8-so here. If he can discard the 8. Decides he can't. So, cut a pair of those. Opens up back. So he's entirely thinking defense at this point. That's another 6 gone. Which means there's only 1 tile left for both of them, I think, that can be drawn. Oh, Jesper's calling for Tenpai. And deals in. Well, Riichi double Dora, 77. Puts Legius back into contention. Puts him in the lead, actually. So, yep, lead is contention. But nobody over that 30k threshold at this point. South 2, first repeat. So, let's have a look at what's going on here. Jesper has a pretty good starting hand. Double South automatically. Legius is lightning fast here from a deal around here. If you can manage this off. This is very easily Pinfu. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get a lot more value out of this unless you can draw a 6 and start marching that down. Use the freeze as a pair, possibly. Prosper's hand looks good, actually. He's not a million miles away from things with that. Yeah, there's a lot of very quick hands here, but South Dora 2, Jesper is the threat. Even cutting one of those now, it's still the threat. Legius, though, Ishanten. I mean, I was about to say, technically so is Jesper, actually. Yeah, so Tenpai waiting on the Forso. There is dirty reaching coming up, and there's a deal in. So Jesper actually pulls off the South Dora, 52. So the points are just going round and round at the moment, I'm noticing. But Legia is still in the lead. As we enter South 3. So, South 3. Jesper has a reasonably good starting hand here. Two sequences, pair. If you can get an early 7-pin, this hand is awesome. He could potentially draw another South as well, give himself some extra Yaku. Legius's hand looks pretty good as well. A bit reliant on drawing some 8s at some point, but, you know, it's not the worst. Prosperous hand up top, 4 pairs. It's going to be a bit slower, but it's a good hand if he finishes that off. Solar, Dragon, Dora, pretty good. But yeah, I think Jesper has the speed advantage here. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. Solar draw the middle tile, which gives him a completed sequence. And Prospero is Ishanten for pairs. 6-6 South. And Legius has drawn one of his 8s. Which puts him Ishanten. Oh wow, these are all approaching Tenpai at basically the same time, very early in the game here. This could be interesting. See, North is an ideal sign to keep, but he's got South for the same purpose. I guess there's less importance on the South there than the North, so that's probably the... Oh, actually, no, North is also the indicator, so no, absolutely not. Well, there's a Riichi waiting on the 8-pin. So, not the best of reaches, but we'll see how that develops. Yeah, these are all fast hands, though. Prospero has just hit 7 pairs Tenpai. So, does he want to... He can't be on... Well, we'll see. 6-pin, 6-0, or fold. Oh, your 3 options there. Goes for the 6-pin. So Prospero has a game-winning hand if he finishes that off, I think. Riichi, Sumo, Chitoitsu would be Not quite Mongan, but close enough at this point that he wouldn't mind too much. Half CG played. Jesper still Ishanten. Still going for it. Which, given he's in his last dealer turn, makes sense. Solar draws his triplet of reds. That's kind of involving. Yeah, no worries, sir. Thank you. I will. I'll join the next game, I think, but we'll have to do a roll off to see who else is in that. And there is Legis' Sumo. So Riichi and Sumo. Oh, and one door. So 4,000 points just breaches over the 30k threshold as we go into the last hand. All to play for. Solar's dealer turn. And this is, yeah, this is awesome. And this is what you want for a quick hand. So Tanyo, Dora 1. Legius up top has what looks like a monstrously big hand he doesn't particularly need. He wants something quick rather than something that has hints of Chinitsu or Chitoitsu Dora 2. Prosper, again, has a bunch of pairs in his hand here. In fact, he's already Ishanten for 7 pairs with that draw. Which is kind of ridiculous. Solar, when a call to advance, decides against it. That's probably fine. He's got Ipeiko and a chance to actually have a hand that might actually win the game here. Mongan Sumo would be enough for Solar to just win. Not quite, but getting there. Yeah, so here I'd have probably cut the Forso and just tried to go for the more likely discards for winning the game, but might also be thinking he doesn't want to advance people's hands with a Forso discard at this point. Oh, he'd have had it as well. I haven't paying too much attention to what Jesper's been doing, but he's kind of building up the 7 pairs angle as well. In fact, on some level, all of the players are at 7 pairs Chitoitsu. Just besides switching out for Honitsu Toitoi. And Prosperous Empire, does he go on the 9 or the south? Both of them same sort of value, goes from a 9 instead. Legis, I think, is... Are you Tenpai with that? You are Tenpai with that. Goes for the silent Ipeiko. And takes the win. Call for Tenpai and takes the win. Sometimes luck is exactly what you need. So, good game. And as mentioned, I am joining along with Lacane, and then we're going to do a roll-off between the other 3 to see who gets in. So, bear with. So, as I said, myself, Lacane, and I have a D6 that doesn't look like a D6. Alright, so D3 then. Oh, okay, you're going to cut out of this one. Alright, that's fine. If you are cutting out of this one, then that is myself, Prospero, Jesper, and Legius for the next one. So, good luck all. I'm going to start the game off. Eating is important, no worries. GMT problems, indeed. Alright, so we're starting north. Let's see what we can do here. Hope for a better starting hand, honestly, is step 1, but we can't do that now. 6, 7, 8. Sanjiku is probably our Magical Dreamland optimal case file for this hand, but... So, Jesper immediately cutting 8-pin, 5-pin. So, Honitsu push or something more sinister. We'll see. Well, either way, we'll play the dragon on turn 2. I'm assuming Honitsu push here. Confirmed if he calls that. Doesn't. Prospero does. Okay, still more. Yeah, okay. Would you go for a cheat for a orphans off the start? You might have done. Okay, fast reach from Legius. Not much we can do about this. Not a lot we can do in the consideration of safety either, except that we chill on a white dragon here. We assume given that 85768, he doesn't want high Pinzu. That's a big assumption I'm going to make, but we're going to make it. Oh, really? Or is this a pause because Jesper is a pair of them going for it? Yeah. So Jesper might well have been going for it. Who knows? If you're a 7, we have Pinfu here. He's on the 5-8. Yeah, Jesper's just going to keep playing those sorts of tiles, so I imagine that he absolutely had it. And now it's a case of where I can draw those 5s and 8s. That's annoying. We were on a 1-4. Yeah, 1-4. Ah, well. We had a reasonable hand to try and come back in with. We had 8 winners. Double Dora. Dragon. Let's see. So it's probably going to be just Dragon Dora 2 here, with the way this is set up, but if we can draw another red or a green, that'd be awesome. Okay, 5, 7, 9. We know we ideally want to draw the 6 here, but we can take that if it comes to it. All right, red and green have both been played one of, so it should be safer for the rest of the game. Okay, very nice. I mean, not impossible, but I'm not expecting it. Tree's useful. Let's go with this for the moment. I mean, we really have Dora 2. We don't actually need to get even the little dragons is a little overkill for this. Short of drawing a red first, we wouldn't be doing that. Okay, no Ipatsu for Jesper. Okay. I'm going to throw the greens. Yeah, I think we're out of this, unfortunately. There's just too many tiles that we would need to play in order to hit Tempai at this point. Okay, so we're safe for the game at this point, but we want to at least show all the whites. We want to show a completely folded Daisangan. That'd be ideal. I wonder if we've got enough safe tiles to start calling and going aggressive for a Tempai here. I mean, the opportunity is probably low. We need to draw something off the 7, but the opportunity might be there. I think we discarded too many, though. End of discards now happens. So, 2-5. Oh, 2-5-8. Very nice. Mongan. Discarding my entire my entire Shosangan, though. Oh dear. I don't particularly want to reset this hand because this actually is a reasonable one, so we're not even going to take that risk. Probably wasn't going to happen anyway, but you never know. All right, West. So this is the important 2B dealer round. And if we can get ourselves to pin 2-1, that is what we want to be doing. Of course, we can get Nageshi on the way, then I can absolutely claim that the hand has always existed, but it doesn't, so it's fine. Don't need that. Should possibly have played the East a little earlier, but hey. Also, we have a possible Itsu. Itsu Door 2 would be absolutely fine right now. Yeah, I might as well follow suit. Keep the definitely not Nageshi plan on the road. 8's an okay draw. So that helps. We might end up having to be on the 7-man. Not the best of weights, but absolutely take it to be Kandila. Or we go into the 2-1 pair weights with the ones both gone, so 2 winners left. Itsu seems a lot better if we can manage that. More middle Pinzu. Please no more middle Pinzu, except the ones that are definitely safe to everybody. Alright, counter reach. So, well, I say counter reach. Hasn't actually been a first reach yet. Two-man safe for the moment. Keeps us Ishanten. Riichi Patsu. 39, so that evens the game up a little bit. I'm a little close to the lead at least. So, Mungan here, and we take the lead. What do we have to try and win a Mungan? We have a... I mean, he's not the worst hand in the world. We'll start west, see what happens here, but possibility time. How about pair? If we can get lucky, draw the free man early. I mean, that's not the worst either. Okay. Fortunately, given somebody some acceleration during my dealer turn is not ideal, but hey. Play the risky tile first. Aye, man, there's nothing. Yeah, we need to step up a moment here because we do not want Jesper picking up a big win now. Admittedly, it could easily be dragon only, but there's some interesting things going on with the other hands as well here. Well, we can get rid of that for the moment. There's a marginal point to keep that, I guess, but only marginal. And this helps us on our possible Itsu plan, I guess. One so, four so, please. That's not a 1 or a 4, so we'll play 2 since we know it's definitely safe. We also played the 4-man, which actually is probably useful for our last discard, but hey. Kill the Ipatsu off, help Jesper out. Tisei tiles. Yeah. Not ideal, but hey. And somebody else took the hit, so I remain third. White Dragon Nummy. And the tight battle for the lead is still on, and we're just a Mungan gap behind it, basically. Alright, 1 man.
Hungry Hippatsu.
No, I am hungry for an Ipatsu, but it's not happening yet. I mean, I'll be hungry for a reach at this point. Tenpai would do.
No, I'm always hungry for tenpais.
Indeed. Start baking.
Where's my gold-plated pie plate?
I have no idea where your gold-plated pie plate is. The silver-plated one is where it always is.
Okay, good.
But I don't know where the gold one's gone to.
Oh, that darn thing. Always on walkabout.
Yes, walkabout. Definitely not melted down and pawned off somewhere. Definitely not. Okay.
Definitely not for plating your Mahjong tiles.
No, I wouldn't gild my Mahjong tiles like that. Not out of the pie plate, anyway. Right. Might have to whisk the white here and just hope that we've not left it too late. We got red for our safe tile. We're going to risk it now. If somebody goes white only, that's fine. Okay, it actually passed. We're a little bit away. We got an awkward thing to get rid of somewhere, or a pair. So, but I suppose getting rid of red 9-9 is probably fine as well. In fact, actually, let's get rid of 9 now. Again, it's keeping us on this silly plan, which again isn't a plan, but. Triplet of 4s. This is looking like a better Tanyo hand all the time. One exception. Jesper also going for Tanyo. Shanten. We'll go for it if we can, but. Five was also played not a million turns ago, but that was before the call. Okay. Because we don't want to abandon this. We'd either get another 1 and try and risk the 3, or we would wait for the 2. So, and hope that somebody is going to be nice enough to give it to us when we reach, which. Nice people. 3 Mana Destiny is not going to be a thing. Well, you ask, and occasionally the game gives you it. Unfortunately, we have accelerated Jesper and into a dangerous position for us, I think. But yeah, we could go for this. Actually, we could switch to... oh, this is really late, but is a switch to Toy Toy even partially viable? Not really. I don't want to play 7 against him, though. That's the thing. So I think the best way we can do this is to play the 2 and just hope that we can either develop around it or do something here. 5-8, 4-7. Well, we can always discard the 5 into it, so this is the thing. We got a safe tile to call with if it comes to it. Eight-pin. Yeah, don't think we can. 8-pin is really not safe on this board. Yeah, we're out. Ah. Well, it was Free Serve Destiny, but our argument was still correct. Dealer repeat. More work needed. We're in South 1 and have drawn a pair of Easts. We have 2 Dora. We also have 4 pairs. So I guess we're on the 7 pairs plan here. Or at least see what happens. Because if we were number 9, we could get Toy Toy as well. But glad we didn't, at least not yet. Okay, Ishan 10 has Dora free. Alright, 9-pin would be awesome right now. Come on, 9-pin. Okay, pair dropped. Well, that's one. Still fine for us to be waiting on it, but it's still happy to be going for this on 2, I think. What's going to be better in the long run? Play white now, because there's an outside chance that it would be dangerous later on. And technically we've upped the number of tiles that get us there. But we need to do it relatively soon, or it's just not going to happen. Now, 7 weirdly helps us, because that means the 4 is more likely to be discarded from that. Three of those are gone, so last chance of Saloon, I think. Alright, trade up. So we lost Doris. This means we probably are reaching this if we get this. With the 9, we might not have been. Sunset of Destiny. So 3 of those. 6 of the others. Oh, sorry, 2 of those. 6 of the others. Oh, 6 again. Half CG to 9. 9 would be a reasonable weight even with 1 out, so it's just getting across that line at this point. Which is not looking viable, it has to be honest. I mean, Prosper is on Honitsu, so Manzi tiles are pretty dangerous for him. Jesper is probably on a Tanyo. We see free. Yeah, let's go for it. Reach on the 4 man. We did play 7, but two draws to try and win this. I don't think anyone's going to play a 4 into this, but they might. Oh, play a red. Well, we don't care about that. That might have just made everybody safe with that one, which we're not going to be happy with. Ah, okay. Because if he played that risky tile, it might have been because Tenpai, but... Alright, we get the Haite. Haite Sumo. Come on, Haite Sumo. Fourth man, Haite Sumo. No! But we'll take the draw. Secure 3rd place a little bit more, and we carry on. South repeat 2 with a reach stick that is mine in the middle. We'll see if we can end that back. Although, admittingly, this isn't... Well, we'll see. This hand could be quick, depending on things, but it's not amazing. And I guess our hand doesn't have to be amazing. We still have a dealer turn left, but we don't want Jesper getting any more points if we can avoid it. We would like somebody else to start winning. Preferably us, but you know. So I'm just looking at Tanyo Pinfu here as our most likely route to anything. Could just be Pinfu if we end up getting the 2, but we want to keep this shape for the time being anyway. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Play the free pin. So there is a Sanshiku potential here, 6, 7, 8. But that's some magical Christmas land kind of thinking. But occasionally that works. Occasionally it's worth thinking about. Alright, let's cut the 1 free then. West does not a lot for me. Yeah, we're up against a Riichi. Thankfully, it's a Riichi with a safe tile, so we'll play that out first and then think about things a little bit. Because it looks like we're going to have to drop the Freedman to get anywhere with this hand, unfortunately. But if free pin's going to be safe, then we're going to carry on with that. Could we sneak a Tanyo out of this? Maybe. I mean, we're nearly there, but the Forso part of that plan is not good. This gives us a free-sided Tempai if we can make the 6 pass. Got it. Tanyo Nomi. Plus 2,000 2 Riichi sticks, one of which was mine in there, so we earn a reasonable number of points. Good push. And more importantly than not, we got Jesper off the dealer button, so you know he's going to have to work a bit harder for his points now. Still, the situation's not that much improved with Legius on there, but you know we're turning closer to us having control. Dora East, you say? Well, I think we might be keeping that turn or 2 and seeing what we can do. There's a possible Itsu Honitsu on, so what are we thinking about that? Boo, sir! You say boo? Boo, sir, boo? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted you to keep going. I didn't boo you when you had endless dealer repeats. I'm going to type things out. I'm just going to... If he wants to listen back to that, that's up to him. Right. Yeah, we're going to go for this. We got the Honitsu here, so I think we... It's not a guaranteed Honitsu, but it's enough that I want to go for it. Got a Dragon for backup. We could potentially still draw another Yakuhai. We can potentially be on the east as well. Double Yakuhai. Yep, this is a Honitsu. The question is, will we get a third? Because we might need a third. But we know Dragon's played thus far, so... Playing fast and loose with them. We could also get Chanter with this as well, actually, as an absolute high end. Very nice. Not going to Khan yet. We might not Khan at all, but we'll at least progress. Well then. How do we feel about this? We feel exactly that about it. I didn't even get the opportunity to do that. But I can't have changed the order up a little bit, but hey. Okay, well, Jesper continuing on his winning ways, it seems. But hey, we've got double east again in the south round, when we want to be sitting double south. Tidora. It's a strong opener, but again, if these were selves, it'd be so much better. Well, 2 safe tiles and a completed sequence, so we are Ishanten for Reach Double Dora. Actually, no, we left the toss there, so Reach and Dora. If we draw anything connected to this 5, we're probably just going to toss both east and see if we can go around it. Not connected. Sticking with the Nageshi plan. Oh, we can still draw a 4-pin. 4-pin gives us Dora free. So, draw the 4-pin, cut the easts, and see what happens. And again, Jesper is deciding to go for quick reaches for just fun and profit, apparently. Somebody has turned up his jam, and we don't like that. We're also not going to pursue him on the 5-pin, even if we hit Senpai right now. Which we didn't anyway. So yeah, we'll throw out both easts, and we'll see, but... Okay, Legis is going to attack for us, which is at least something. Not ideal. So through the freeze gone, it could we two should be reasonably safe at this point. Problem is, we are really running out of room for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, the 7's safe, so we'll play those. Oh, I miscounted. You know what? I missed when that draw happened, and that was a miscount. I should not have played that, because the only reason I did is I saw 4 discards. 4 discards. Ah! Oh well. Dealer turn. Let's see if we can actually recover anything from this. I mean, we can potentially get a hand here, but it's going to have to just be whatever only, unless we can pair up the easts. Even then, it's going to be east only. Most likely. Or the 1. There are 6. We can potentially get ourselves something on this end, but... Okay, drew 6. So that's step 1 done. So I think we're now just going to try and force Tanyo and see what happens. Okay, pair established. And now we just call everything we can and hope that it's going to get us there at the moment. Ishanten. Technically we could have fostered 7 and kept on with what we were doing, but again, this gives us a couple of extra people who we could call against if one of them wants to gamble a middle tile. Wrong middle tile to gamble on, but hey. Tenpai 4v4. Oh, 5 or 7. Now we can count the 4s as well, actually, so we don't want to be also turning off calls. Last West. Shame we can't add some value, but that would be against the rules. So playing safe into just this 2-player battle at the moment. So we just got to hope that our weight is slightly better than whatever Jesper's on. Or that we're on each other's weights. If we're both on 5-7 pair weights, that's actually fine. Gives me another chance to actually do something. Although if we're on 5-7 pair weights, I don't think you'd have played the 6, so... Oh, potential call here. Nope. So it was obviously Prospero's got a pair of them. Or I would assume Prospero's a pair of them. No, that's fine. Okay. Last discard. Are we going to get a Haite? Nope. Both of us in pair weights, though. Long way to go, but step 1 achieved. We got a repeat. Can we get a hand that has some value, please? Yeah. Okay. Double Dora. We have a hand that has some value. Let's see if we can do anything with it. So we go for the early Hatsu. We've got a few things that we could potentially call off that. If we can double Yakuhai off the east, that would be amazing. And give us a potential Mangan. I mean, double off whited will work as well. Prospero attacking, that's not good for us, probably. We also need something connecting to this 5-man if we want to actually use it for value. Failing that, though, we'll take anything that comes, because speed absolutely paramount right now. South is actually probably fine to play. There's a temptation to keep it, but... Okay. So Legius is off as well, so multiple bits of speed going against me here. So, yeah, okay. I was just thinking. Do I just take... Yeah, I think we got to attack. White Dragon, or we're going for the open Itsu. Both of those are possible from here, but I don't think we got the time to mess around right now. Yeah, we don't. So Legius puts us out and in second place, unless we pick it up. We can still get a Honitsu from this. We got a pair of 5s. Okay, change of plan. We now need that dragon. If we don't get that dragon, we're scuppered. But if we can also get an Itsu, actually. An Itsu would work. If we can go 3 and then 4 in that order. Have to hope that something passes. The 6 could. We know where all of those are. Play the 2. Ah, God, he tried 6-0. 6-0 is not the answer. Because if we're not tempo, this game just ends. Second white dragon. Phew. This game is starting to get scary. Yeah, just for answer for us anyway. Oh well, third it is. Not much I can do in that position that I didn't already do. Somebody is just being a jam thief. And I end my day basically minus 14 unless I do another game. So we're doing another game. So we have Buffalo currently queued up. We have myself, and I'm doing one more. But that's probably going to be my last one for the stream. So currently Buffalo. Yep, you're in. I see you. And Prospero's joined us as well. Okay, so let's go for one last one for the stream. Because what's a small low number of points to a big low number of points? Can't just have a minus 13. Got to go for a minus 50. All right, so we're starting dealer. We have 2 Dora. We have a West in our opening hand. Let's play the West. And hope we don't get a reset. Because the hand's actually decent. Okay, at least I can call from the butterfly. And we have a 4-5-6 Sanchku potentially. And we have Tempo if we draw an advancement now. Not quite there. But Reach Draw 2 as dealer is absolutely fine. In a heartbeat, we would take this. And we can, of course, still call for Tanyo as well. Call to play 5 or play 6. Oh, 6 PM. Interesting. So it's put us back a step, but we got a much more valuable hand now. Although, admittingly, we're running out of time. Sanchku is a nice upside, but we really don't need that with the amount of points we're generating right now. Sanchku, 4-7. Sanchku, many Dora. One of each. It's possible that they're all taken in people's hands, but it's still a monster hand as dealer, so we can't fold this. Tanya, Sanchiku, and Dora 4 or 5? 4, I think. Dealer Hanneman. Which, you know, is a start. Okay, 3 pairs, 1 Dora. Again, probably just going Pinfu here. Maybe Tanya, depending on how this goes. We're obviously going to be getting the red at some point. But not just this moment. Nope, early reach from Jesper to get me out of this hand, I guess. We'll play the 9-pin on the basis of outside tiles. Are probably more beneficial here. We might end up playing the Souths as well, because we've got a pair of them. But obviously still trying to just... I was about to say that could be game over if it's among and dealing. Which I'd be fine with. But yeah, we're just going to play out of high tiles for the moment and see about this. I got a decent lead, so I have no reason to necessarily attack this. Obviously, if we can get ourselves to a position where we have a Tanyo attack, then we're going to do it, but... But problem is White Dragon right now. Didn't you call somebody out for having a cheeky reach earlier? That's fine. I mean, to be fair, it's quite uncommon, but it is a thing, and we generally vote on the rules beforehand. But we might consider that. Anyway, so Prospero is dealer. We have pretty good opening hand here. But Prospero is already away and not allowing us to draw things to improve it. It means I probably don't want to play my white right now, because getting Prospero back in the game is not something I'd ideally want to do. If he has that. We draw on triple Norths. Okay. We might be on the call everything plan and just try to be on the White Dragon only wait. Yeah, I mean, losing 100, 200 points in one match would be kind of depressing. But we'll see. I was debating Honitsu at least briefly initially here, but we were actually looking quite good without that, so we'll just go North only. What, North and whatever White Dora we can pick up. Okay, that's reasonable. A few more options there. One man, not helpful. Hello, Mono. How are you doing? Oh, you put Prospero back in the game, Jesper. I don't approve of this. I mean, it solidifies myself in second, but yeah, this is. I mean, actually, this is ideal. But you know, we didn't want to put Prospero back in the game. I was hoping to knock him out. Oh well. So 23, 24k lead. Generally okay. Rough spots for a little bit, but you know, mostly passed. In the meantime, we're just trying to earn back some points. Well, everyone as usual, of course. This is the only hand I've been winning for some time, I'm going to point out. But, you know, obviously bullying. Whenever I can, which is unfortunately rarely. Well, I might as well follow up with whites. True. Reasonable draw. Chanter an option from here? I mean, I've kind of discarded quite a lot of stuff that would have helped the Chanter hand if I'd have decided on that a bit earlier, but I think it's a bit of an ask. We can keep going for this impossible hand, I guess. Six-on-8 Sanchku is now opened up as a potential magical Christmas land effect from this hand. Might as well keep that because, again, vague chances. Alright, Reach from Prospero. We have 2 safe tiles. Actually, with quite a lot of safe tiles, actually come to that. But 2 safe tiles along the line of what we would probably be drawing and discarding anyway, so we can continue to advance for a little bit. I mean, it's not in our best, not massively in our interest for Prospero to win this, but because it's delaying the game. We're still in East 2. We want to get this game over and done with. So 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. So I see 3 of those. I see 3 2s as well. One's potentially, but we'll probably be discarding other things here because I don't think we're going to continue with this one. Yeah, if we knew one was safe, I'd probably be considering. Actually, we can play 8 for the moment. We can also play 6 as well, actually, kind of that, because I had missed the call earlier. I mean, really, I don't think we're advancing with this one, but as long as it's safe for us to do so, I guess. Also, 3, 3, 3, 3. We know what all the 3s are. So if it is a 1, it's a pair weight, and we see 2 of them. I think we could play the 1, but I'm going to play it safe. We got enough of a lead that we don't need to take risks. And while it's unlikely, I've got definite safe tiles I can play first. So we're going to play 8-7, and then we'll see where we are with things. The one man, I had 2 in hand. But it's fine. I had no reason to really go and attack that anyway, so... True, it wasn't definite, but it was probably going to be a pair weight if it was going to be anything. Right. This is reasonable. Alright, Mono, thanks for joining us, albeit briefly. We'll catch up some games at some point. So 16k is the gap. I guess we do have to be slightly worried about Prosper overhauling us at this point. But we got a hand we can attack with, so hopefully we can close this hand off and see where... At least move the game on a little bit. If Jasper loses any more points, though, that's going to be beneficial to us in the midterm, at least for securing at least second. But... Well, we might as well counterattack. Does he have double dragon? He does have double dragon. He does not have the third. If we get green, we're playing it for proof. But one's already out, so it's unlikely anyway. Still, likely... I was going to say likely Honetsu, but actually his discards aren't really bearing that out. Sad Panda indeed. Well, 2 safe tiles for his current setup here. Toy Toy then, I guess? It's not the way around we would like it, but... technically gives us the ability to Tempai if we can make the 7 pass. That, though, is more of a complicated issue for us. Yeah, I think we're out of this one. Prosper isn't, but then he's massively committed. Green only, really? I guess it was always a possibility, but you know. Well, he did have the little dragons, which I guess I should have been more aware of given what he called with. Well, this game is never leaving the East round. It might not ever leave East 2. Well, that's good, because if he had Sananko Dora, I was probably going to deal into him if I did anything else. Jam turning to starch. Ah, it's fine. I got a good hand out of this, so clearly I'm not entirely abandoned by the ways of a jam. I'm clearly not abandoned by the ways of jam. It's a pair weight for Tanya only, but we'll take it right now. Yeah, we're still getting rid of the 9s. Okay, fast hand from Jesper. If we draw a 6, we can pursue him. Wrong 6, of course, because I asked for 6, I didn't specify. Still, safe to half now. Alright, Riichi passes Sumo, and Jesper is back in the game. And Mongun is Gap. Well, Mongun at 200. Alright. East Free. It is becoming one of those games. Wish I could, but no. Wish I could, but no. 2 safe tiles for the rest of the game. I wish it was South Free. This would be a much better hand if this was South Free. Still. And so not doing a lot for us right now. Well, back on the Nageshi start then. We'll wait for the jam flow to pick back up. Well, so much for the Nageshi. So, Butterfly with the Red Dragon Call. Have a couple of safe tiles in that direction if we need to. Well, this is a good question. I don't know if we play with any... maybe... I'm regretting not calling the South earlier now, but we might have to think about the Honitsu thing here. Though with a 4-6, probably not massively likely we were going to do that, but... Well, we'll see. Some development can still happen, and we're up against 2 calls now anyway. Now the Honitsu is starting to come together. Good Chitoitsu, I guess. Late Chitoitsu push. So I don't have to discard the Dora. Well, screw it. Double CG, and then we're just going to have to risk Fedora. I say we're going to have to. We are going to risk Fedora anyway. And he passed. So Ishanten. And not calling the South again punished for, but hey. Well, at least bluff it, even if we're not going to get it. We really don't have a lot of winners left till we go for that, though, do we? Obviously. Is that going to be better? Not really. Well, there we go. Honitsu 1. Play Manzu at your own peril. Prospero Reaches, which is probably a good move against me in all honesty. Well, I have a free hand. 2 1-pin on the board. He's played 2. See 2 of those. We see free. Yeah, I think we gotta go for it anyway, even though it's... Nope, it wasn't. The pause there was just taunting, but yeah, got away with that. Ah, that is just the worst. Right, we're out. If I draw a Tanya 10 by now, I'm going to be quite happy. Alright, that happens. We're okay. Oh, game evened up again. We have what is ultimately a really bad hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I guess we start leaning into something here. Once I know what I'm leaning into, I'll let you know. We have a double Doro though, so it's not. We can't really abandon this hand. Double Doro white would be absolutely fine. If we can pair up another Yakuhai, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we might as well. It's become dealer as well, so we'll be a little aggressive to try and steal the dealership. Okay, we have a definite safe tar for the end. Yeah, we have a pair of beasts. So double Yakuhai, potentially. Yeah, cut there. So it means we're probably getting rid of the free 1, but we'll see how other developments go with this. Yeah, I'm going to cut the free 1 now. Free just feels like it's going to be a much more dangerous style if we left it. Okay, so we forced Prospero to do something now. And he's actually given us Ishanten with that. So 4725. No, we'll hold that off a turn. Depressingly, this means I guess if we call it, we now can't actually counter with it. But, you know, small price for a definite safe last discard. And everybody going a bit mad. Actually, there's no more reaches on the board. And now we can go over the last 3, so if that happens. 3 is off safe to the left. This has got a bit strange, this one. Not gonna lie. Do we dealing with that? Nope, we have the 4-7. And we have the ROM off the right person as well. So double Yakuhai and double Dora. Right, switched positions and we have the lead. What do we have with this then? Triplet of the 8s. Some options. I'm going to play the South first though. First and South, not necessarily ideal, but... Not going to count this one. I'm going to keep the East though. Nice. Probably could have got the 1 there rather than a 9, but oh well. It's happened now. I've lost my... I mean, I didn't really have a Sanchiku chance. I'd already cut the 9 anyway, but... Map progression. Potentially more progression. I guess I cut East here. And depending on what I draw, will determine which way around we go with this. Yeah, so we have a 1-2, 1-3. 2-2s have been played, so we'll cut the 1-2, the 1-3. And means Ishanten waiting on Sanso. Or we expect to be waiting on Sanso anyway. If we draw it, that's better, but... Alright, against the Tanya double call. We can always play the 8s out against him as well if we need to. But rapid 2 calls, dropping a pair of Dora Dragons, we've got to assume... Well, okay, maybe he didn't drop them. He just incidentally lost them. But I'm going to assume that's Tempai. Yeah, we're going to go around things a little bit here. Okay, 7's going is interesting. So 3 of those, 3 8s I see. And somebody can do something with that 6-pin, but he's debating. So I assume Prospero. White Dragon is safe against all players. We're going to keep on with the 8 plan, though. At least for now. Okay. Riichi Patsu? Nope. Yeah, well, we're almost to Tempai again. Oh, now I've got so many things to worry about. Gonna play the 8 so on the basis I see multiple of them. Tanya 2. gap down to 3,000. I've lost the last dealership, so now it's just a case of can we run away with the game. I mean, Yakima chance is fine. Depends how close you actually were to it, I think. Okay, pair of Wests. I mean, not really much I can do with this other than just getting pinned to or getting lucky with the South Yakuhai, but... good bears, I suppose. Okay, South disappearing as well, so guess we're playing that out and maybe just going for a Tanyo here. Yeah, Tanyo 1 would be fine. We're a little way away from it, but not. This is we can get there safely. I think it's the more important thing here. Yeah, this might be aggressive, but I don't know. I'm liking the line. 2-3's down as well. Okay. Liking it a little less now. So we draw something connected to the free pin then. Yeah, with one call we had a bit of time, although free pin being safe to him is good. Yep, of course we draw the set. Of course we draw a triplet there as well. I mean, it's a safe dial to butterfly, so that's valuable. Carnage going on. What do we get from this? We get 9s. Well, we have Tempai. 3-6 for a Tanya. And Bedelian. So, Tanya 1. And just by giving us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, South 3. 2 to go. Hand is okay. Kind of reliant on pairing up one of these, but it's definitely not the worst. And if we get the free early on, get rid of these early on, we can just go for the pin through attack. Or just be waiting on the Infernal Sanzo, which is the indicator as well, so there's less of them. 5,000 lead. We also have to be worried about Prospero because 9-8, he's definitely there. Semantics. Well, just being in order during one says. Or just to pretend he's in order during one says, who knows. Please here. Now, lady, if you're Aegon, we have a rule about that sort of thing here. If you're Aegon, you'd be in the timeout chamber. Although, admittedly, I rarely put people in the timeout chamber anyway, apart from Aegon, but you know. And also, any excuse to put Aegon in the timeout chamber. In fact, is he around? Can I put him in there now? Nope, apparently not. Darn. We're just going to play our ones here and hope to go for a Tanyo. Okay, Sumo, and that is Dora 2 as well. So that puts him pretty much on my tail. Alongside them, so yeah. Oh, he's been around every now and then, but he normally just plays for the first game and then leaves. He didn't turn up today. Probably because he's on a winning streak of 1. He has proved his superiority and has no need to play further. Okay, well, this is looking good. This is looking very good. South passing also as well, so yeah, this is exactly what we want to try and close the game out. Prospero would need a 3-Han hand with that. Yeah. Okay, so he needs a 52 hand. Ishanten, potentially a multi-sided weight here. Yeah, it's probably better to go 4 there because actually we can't call the 6, or we're less likely to call the 6. And of course, Prospero calls there. Well, the question is Prospero's hand big enough? If he's got Honitsu, it is. So, but equally, if it's Honitsu, we know what to play against him. Okay, 4-7 Tenpai. Wrong 7. And that's game. Actually, somehow managed to save a win there. And we will absolutely take a +40, which is the first win in some time on this stream. Anyway, thanks for joining us. I think that's going to call it there. I'll leave the lobby on auto match if people want to continue playing, and I'll count the results as they happen. Bear with. But since it's a bit quiet today, I think that's going to be it. In which case, I will see you all next week for some more Tiles of Confusion type nonsense and things. Catch you later then. GG.